Alright guys, so today I'm going to be filming another voiceover writing video. This video was taken probably about about 10 days after the footage in the last video, so there's hopefully a little bit of progression. I reckon there probably is. But yes, I'm just trotting Shippy around. He's wearing the Lemur Burgundy saddle pad, and polar wraps are just like some cheap combi wraps I found online. So we're just trotting around here, and I reckon one of the first things that one of the first things that you can see is that his trot probably looks up quite a bit better than in the last video. He is, at this point, I think he had the physio, so he's definitely trotting forward a bit better. I think he's also, I have the different bit in this video that I mentioned, so I think he's kind of playing with the bit like a little bit more. You can still see that he is wanting to like stick his nose out, but I think he's coming back a lot more, which is definitely better. Also, this video was filmed on the lens that I got for my birthday, which is the Tamron 24-70 2.8, and I think it looks bloody tops. So here you can see he's kind of giving to the bit a lot better. I'm still riding him with a reasonably long rein. And he is coming back. I think he also looks a lot more straight coming through here. I started to figure him out with my leg a little bit more. There you can see before he stuck his nose out, he was playing a little bit more with the flexion as well, which is nice. Here he's just sticking his nose out. But there he comes back. So I think you can definitely see that he is starting to respond a little bit more, and I definitely think that this bit helped. I think the sticking his nose out is behavioural, but I found that he was a lot more responsive in terms of turning and the half halt with this bit. So coming around the top here, you can see he's all the time kind of giving a bit more to the bit, which is nice. I'm trying to send him forward as much as I can so that he's kind of working into the bit. I don't know, I watched this footage and I feel like the rein looks long, but when I'm riding, if I have it too short, that's good there. If I have the rein too short, he kind of fights it quite a lot. So I feel like it's perhaps better to ride him with a bit longer rein. I don't know, I just prefer to ride with a longer rein anyway, but I think it creates less conflict and it's easier for him to kind of get a softer feel with a rein that's just a little bit longer. Just trotting around the arena, trotting. So he's sticking his nose out there, you can see, and he's given back there, which is good. That's what I wanted. So just there I half halted with the outside rein, and in the video I'm actually talking away to mum here, telling her that I reckon that you go through a period of just kind of like fighting him, like half halt, flex to the inside, and he's pulling, and then all of a sudden he'll just get it, and you have to just kind of leave his mouth alone and just let him travel in that kind of softer frame, which is good. So here he was getting quite strong, so I just brought him back to a halt, just made him bloody stop and listen for a minute, and then I walk off, and around this corner I think he was, also give him a pat there, I think he tends to run on the inside shoulder a lot down in that corner. So here you can see I've got my inside leg on, so my heel looks horrible, and coming around this next corner I'm really just focusing on getting him out into the corner and flexing around. So here you can see he's flexing around the corner, which is much better. That's what I was after. So grumpy faces. So trotting that again, and he's a lot better. He's not so strong. You can see he's above the bit, but he's not pulling, which he was, which is why I did a transition there. He gets a bit fussy again here with the pulling. So I do a circle to get him listening again to that inside flexion, because if he's pulling on the straight, if you just keep going down the straight, I find he just pulls. He's quite smart, so you really have to kind of break it up and do a lot with him. I rode him yesterday and it was like an alright ride, but he just wasn't really listening, and I was kind of kicking myself afterwards because I did hardly any like transitions or anything, and I was like, God, that would have helped so much. So I would definitely recommend, if your horse isn't listening, do something else, like do transitions. So here is the first of the canter work. This is the first time I'd ever cantered him. The trot was coming along at this point, and the canter is like way back at the start again, but that's okay. And it was also raining, so my mum ran inside the little shelter that's next to the arena. So he's pretty good. He has quite a nice canter here. The only thing is, like, since then, this footage, it's so much better. It's very long in this. You can see that it's just like long, and I'm really just focusing on getting him traveling forward. It's also, he's not really under me, like he's not uphill, he's just kind of going along, which is fine. And he also pulls his head there, as you can see, and I ride really deep into my seat to try and stop him from doing that. This is a bit better here. He's a little bit better. You can see he's still kind of flicking into the inside, but that is okay. I think he was like coughing here or something, actually. You can see I'm riding him with quite a deep seat just to stop him pulling. He comes back out of it quite nicely, actually, and the frame is like better when he comes out of it, which again goes to show, like, do a transition, you know. To make sure I'm still recording. So trotting around here, the frame is much better. You can see there, that's like, you know, 10 times better. He was also listening much better in that corner. You could see him swing out a little bit as he came out of the edge of the corner, which is good. And the frame is better here as well. He's just listening a lot more. And you can see his ears are on me. He's a lot kind of softer and more receptive to what I'm asking. Across the diagonal here, a little bit of extension. He has a really lovely trot, to be honest. It's a really nice kind of active trot. Pushing him outside. He does have a tendency in the corners to kind of, especially at that end, I don't even know, to just swing in a bit, but he's, like I said, he's really good off the leg, so thank God, otherwise he'd just like run through the inside shoulder on all the corners, which would be so annoying. So I'm about to do another canter down here. Like I said, this is, I think I had like one tiny canter the day before, and that was because he ran and just kind of fell into it. So this is the first time actually working the canter. So he gets the wrong leg here. I didn't really help. I let him just kind of run into it. That's fine. Let him canter for a couple of steps because he still did what I asked. There was still a transition there. And then come back around. See how he's flicking his tail? I thought his leg felt a bit funny. I wasn't sure what was happening, so I just stopped him just for a second just to make sure he was all good. Trotting on again as well. I find often if your horse runs off into the canter, the best thing to do is bring them back to the walk and start again. Otherwise you'll just get into that cycle of them just like running and pulling and falling into the canter, and most of the time that'll be like on the wrong leg. So I think I asked for it again here. As you can see, it's a much more controlled trot with a much more definite transition. And then again, he's very long. He found it more difficult cantering this way. You can see with my seat there, I'm riding him quite deep. Also, our friends were coming down onto the arena, so he was a little bit distracted. Too much happening for little brain. So he looks better here. He got into the deep sand there. I kind of like, I'm not really sitting off of his back, like I'm light in the seat, but I'm not like in 2-point, just because you can see that he does kind of run away with it a bit. And I mean, he's experienced in the canter anyway, so I don't really see the need to. He's quite lazy, he wants to trot. Yeah, this is better though, but he's still, he's quite long and just falling a bit to the inside. But I was mostly just looking for him to go forward into the transition, which he did do, so. And then we fall back into the trot, but that is okay. And then I let him just have a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure if I cooled him down at this point or did like a little bit more trot work, but I stopped him, as you can see in a minute, because somebody else was coming into the arena. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I show another one soon, but I go to Vietnam tomorrow. Bye!